Hi there, this is Cheryl with Sew Glue and Cheryl 2. I am coming to you live. If you're catching this part, you're likely catching the replay, so hashtag replay. Otherwise, as you come in, if you see the red live above you, just come in and say hi and let me know you're here. We're going to do a little crafting. I'm not a part of an event today, but thought I'd come back on because I have been gone for a while, and so holidays, you know, and all of that. So let me get myself pulled up so I can see comments. Okay. And then we will get started as people come in. You know, and all of that. So there we go. Let me pull this a little closer to me so I can actually see it. Sometimes with the bright light, I can't see the screen. So I'm going to go in here real quick and share me out. I'm going to go to a couple places just to let everybody know that I am online. This was kind of an impromptu. I'm not a part of any event this week, and so I wanted to come on, say hi, and do a little bit of crafting because I miss everybody, share with you how things were going for the holiday, see how your weekend was. And if you're coming in, say hi and let me know you're here. Just sprinkling myself out real quick. Okay. I got that one done. I'll put my laptop back up there and we'll jump on the second device real quick. Pull myself up and sprinkle myself out there. I only do that because some groups don't allow you to do, they don't allow you to share into without being your private page. Hi, Christina, welcome in. Oh, yeah. Oh, they ask you to free up some space. That's interesting. Do you have like some lives that haven't been deleted yet, or? Okay. Just getting myself okay. I think I got myself all shared out there. Oh, your third day of back-to-back work. All right. So how's it going? Do you feel okay? Is it a little bit stressful, or are you just kind of worried about using that shoulder? And how was your 4th of July weekend? My weekend, we went glamping, and it was really nice, except for we didn't have any idea the little town that we went glamping in, because there's like a town that is just kind of on the edge of where the campground is. That town goes to like all the extremes when it comes to the 4th of July, and we had no idea. So there was a parade, which was a lot of fun, except for then when it came time to have the fireworks. The fireworks, it's such a small town, so when they shot the fireworks, they ended up coming up over the campground. And the of course, the dogs, we had the dogs in the camper, and they were freaking out because of the loud noise. Yeah, you just kind of worrying about using your shoulder too much. Yeah. I can understand that. I can completely understand that. I would. I probably would too if I were you. I would be a little concerned, but do your best. I would say, hi, Tasha. Welcome in. I was just telling about my 4th of July weekend. How was everybody else's 4th of July? Mine, we went camping or glamping because I don't camp anymore. We have to glamp, and the fireworks in the little town, they went over and above and beyond, of course, and then they shot fireworks up over, and it ended up being over the campground. And we had the dogs, and we took the dogs purposefully with us because we know that they freak out with fireworks. So we were thinking that the town going camping would be nice and quiet. That was not the case. The fireworks were crazy, and it was just on the extreme side. Yours was good? Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. You got to spend time with your daughter and the kids, the grandkids, the grandbabies. So I am going to try. Now, this particular thing, I'm going to try to make an angel with the spindle. These are spindles that I was selling. I know you have one, Tasha. But these are spindles I have been selling that I have. And I thought, how about it's time to actually try to make my own angel out of it. And it's inspired by the spindle angel that Michelle, with Pretty Pieces by Michelle, had creatively, I think at Christmas, done a kit for spindle angels, and through the Sacred Treasure House, like the Christmas party at the Sacred Treasure House. And so I am going to use that as my inspiration to try to do another spindle angel, but with one of these bigger spindles. And so what I started to do is sand it, because it's covered with varnish, a sealing varnish on wood that you would put on wood. And so I thought I would try to sand off it a little bit, make it as rough as possible, so that if I decided to paint it, that I could paint it. You got to spend it with all of them. That was great. I'm so glad to hear that. So, Christine, you didn't have much going on for the holiday? You rested? Before you went to work. Oh, yep, before you went to work. Totally get it. It would be nice. I did not get much rest. Let's just note that. The first night was Friday night. It was a wonderful night at the campground. I went to bed, and it's always the first night that I struggle when I go camping, that I struggle sleeping, because it's a different bed, right? Everybody, it's like going to a hotel. You struggle with being able to get a good night's sleep. So then, of course, Saturday night was the 4th of July, and they were going over and above and over the top with fireworks, which was great, except for the dogs, because we were more worried about the dogs freaking out. And then when we came back and we were done watching the fireworks, another group in the area, not necessarily in the campground, but in the area, was shooting off fireworks, and they were big booms, and they were going off until way past 12:30. It was like, ugh. And so the dogs practically wanted to get into bed with us, and so we didn't get much sleep that night either. So, but it was nice to get away. So again, I have this spindle. I took my gator and kind of sanded down some of it. I did a little bit of pre-work. I was kind of playing with it, and I took a manila folder that I have just extra of, and was just trying to kind of measure what like the wings would be. And so we may have to, I kind of drew it on some cardboard, but we may have to kind of play with some things. Just a minute. Facebook is just giving me more pop-ups and they block everything. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of set that aside for a minute. Let's decide. Oh, let me empty the sand from Sandy. All right, so I am going to try, I don't know, I have some laces and stuff like that we can kind of dress her up with, but I have to kind of decide if I'm going to use brown, or she's going to have lighter color. Maybe I antique white her on the inside instead. Let's try that and see what it looks like. Then if we don't like it, then we can come back and put it. This is apple barrel antique white. So let me just put a blob on my paper plate. And let's see what it might look like. That actually might at least kind of hide, and we can make it look antique if we want. I think it may end up taking more paint than I expected. Could do a couple. I'm just dry brushing right now to see kind of what this will do. And I think what I will do is I will try to cover this so it has just a wood cut from where the wood is. On Friday you had a bad storm. Oh, was there a lot of damage? Was it just like thunder and lightning or hailstorms, or was it tornado? Because I know Wisconsin gets, I grew up in Illinois, so I'm familiar with the weather that Wisconsin gets. Because we get about the same, or when I was growing up, we got the same weather as we did as Wisconsin gets. Most of the time. If it's a weather system in Illinois, it's going to be a weather system in Wisconsin. We got some unusual weather as well before the 4th of July, which is not normal for our area. We had thunder and lightning storms and pretty big hail. We do not, and it's unusual for us to get that in July. We don't usually get that weather until the fall. In the fall, then we have been known to have some pretty heavy windstorms, and the wind will tear things up, but we don't very seldom get, and I heard somebody say, or I thought I heard reports of somewhere in Idaho that they had seen a funnel cloud, so, which terrifies me because I am just not fond of tornadoes at all, regardless if it's just a funnel cloud or not. Tornadoes are tornadoes. So we had that, and there was flash flooding, and was a little crazy. Looks like it's just scuffing it up. Seems to work okay. So Tasha, if that's something that you decide to do, I would just scuff it up a little bit with some sandpaper to try to paint it, because that is giving the acrylic paint a little bit of grip. A lot of damage. Oh man. Trees falling on houses. We had that too. We had quite a few. There was a lot of fences that were blown over, like, just regular yard fences that were blown over because of the winds and the storms, and there were quite a few trees that had fallen down. We had some areas of town where they had gotten so much hail it looked like it had snowed. It was crazy. And that's not normal weather for Idaho. That's Midwest weather. All right, so I think that's the way to go, is to scuff it up, gotta sand it a little bit so that the paint takes, it seems to be holding onto it pretty well. Just gonna try to go over the top. So I was trying to figure out what I could use as a head. So I didn't have any like wooden balls big enough. Everything I have is like small beads, and she'd look like she had a shrunken head. So I did happen to find this. This is just a plastic ornament, and it's actually kind of pretty. It's got sparkles on it. And so I thought I would, and that seemed to be a perfect size for the body. So I thought I could hot glue that on. I think because I'm not going to put a face on her, I'm thinking I will glue the ball on top, and then we'll decorate her. That would be her head, and then I can put the halo, because I got some ideas for the halo as well. Hi, Donnell. 90 to 100 miles. Oh, wow. That 90 to 100 miles per hour wind. That is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't know, like, the speeds of the wind. I guess I didn't pay attention to what they were reporting on that, but I know that the town that we're right next to, so I'm in Boise, and I'm on the, thank you for coming in and saying hello. Donnell. So Donnell lives kind of in that town that I was just speaking about, is Meridian, Idaho, and they're the one that had the worst. Well, from there over, some of the other little towns that are just west of Meridian as well got hit pretty hard and had a lot of like flash flooding and stuff. And then the hail that covered the ground. What was it like at your house, Donnell? Did the hail kind of cover your ground like it was like snow on the ground? I've seen some pictures of some of the reports on Facebook, and some of our friends have posted pictures. So it was a little crazy, but so I am taking a spindle, since you just joined. I am taking a spindle, and I am going to make an angel out of it. It's a pretty big one. It's a 4x4 that was, I guess, created to be a pillar. Let's call it a pillar in the house. And so when it was removed, I said, give that to me. So I cut it up, and I do have some spindles for sale, but I am trying to craft one so I can show what is possible. And somebody tell me that you could make a doll with it too, but I am not good at doll making. So it will not probably be something I try to attempt to do. And so I think this is, I'm just have it dry brushed. And it's drying, the paint is drying on it really quickly. So I am going to, I don't think I'm going to do a second coat because I kind of like the rustic look of it. Oh, you weren't home. You guys happened to be in Seattle. Oh, for the weekend. Gotcha. She had trouble getting home. Oh, hold on just a second. Let me. That night with, flooding. But you didn't have any of the hail at your house. Oh, okay. We saw the hail, but it was light. We didn't get as much as some of the other reports were. And we did get quite a bit of rain, but our street has enough drainage that it didn't flood. So we were fortunate during that. But so you were you home for the 4th of July then, Donnell, or were you guys still in Seattle? Oh, that's right. I remember, because that's why we didn't craft. So Donnell and I typically craft together on the last Saturday of the month. And we haven't been able to for the last couple months because of just schedules have been mad between her schedule and my schedule. So hopefully here in the near future we'll be able to craft together. So I think what I'm going to do is the way that this is laid out, and I'm just kind of covering up the wood at the bottom here. Okay, so once that dries, I think I am good. I'm going to put that in water. Let me get the brown and off-white paint. Whoops. Just knocked my green off. Okay, so let me dry this real quick to make sure this is dry. And then we'll do some fun things. You were home on the 4th? What did you guys have a good 4th of July? We went camping. And we went to a little town called Crouch. I know Donnell knows about it, but Tasha and Christina don't know. It's a little town about an hour, I'd say more so an hour outside up into the mountains. And so that's where we went camping. And we went to the Starlight Mountain Theater. So there we had a theater show on Friday night, which was, you did a barbecue? Nice. Well, we went to the Starlight Mountain Theater and we went to Friday night. So Starlight Mountain Theater is, for those who are not familiar with it, is a little theater that they put on, open air place. So their stage is all open to the open air. So is the seating, and they put on plays. And the first one on Friday night was You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I laughed my rear end off. It was so funny. Because if you grew up with Charlie Brown, you kind of know some of the funny little comic strips, from the newspaper, or if you watch the cartoon. And it was just, it cracked me up. I laughed so much. I had never laughed so hard in my life. And some of the impromptu stuff that the kids were doing. Now, these are kids that are 19, they're in their 19 to 25 age range, who have never grown up with Charlie Brown, who didn't know Charlie Brown existed until they had to become characters and play as characters. So they did a great job of doing their studies to kind of learn their characters, because they were hilarious. Doyle and I really enjoyed the Friday night show. And then, of course, we came home because it was late. You know, by the time you get done with the show, it was 11:15. And so we went back to the camper, and we were camping with some other friends. And I was just so tired that I went to bed, but Doyle went over and visited with our neighbors. And then after that, on Friday, we went to a show. They did a live show, and it was called Legally Blonde. So, you know, the movie Legally Blonde, well, there is a play that it originated from. And so they did the play, and it wasn't as funny because it's kind of a love story. If anything, for the better of it, it's a love story. And so it was all right. I enjoyed it, but it was a different kind of enjoyment because, you know, I wasn't laughing my rear end off, just trying to listen to the funny comedic stuff that was going on. And you could tell that the actresses and actors on the Friday night show with You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, really enjoyed themselves. And then the Legally Blonde was a much larger cast. And of course, you know, it was hard for them to be able to do much in the way of, improv. But so they had to kind of stick to the script, but they were both good. They stopped the play in the middle when it was time for the fireworks. And so we went back to the RV for the fireworks. You have to do your exercises. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping in, Christina. I appreciate you joining for the time that you did. And so we left the show temporarily while they were doing the fireworks to go back and take care of the dogs, because the dogs were just losing their ever-loving minds because of the fireworks. So I have this. This is going to be her head. So I think we're going to attempt to hot glue her head down. May have to get some more glue. Woo! Have to get another glue stick out. All right. So what we are gonna do is see if we can get the head to stay on. And then we can kind of start building from there. And like I said, I did a little bit of pre-work with, the easiest thing to do for wings is just to cut out a heart. So I cut out a heart just out of a little bit firmer, it's manila folder. So I cut it out and I traced it onto cardboard. And so I'm going to use the cardboard to make the wings, but I'm going to try cutting it out and then we'll adjust accordingly, because I wasn't entirely sure the size the wings really needed to be. Even after doing a test run with them, I was thinking they needed to be a little bit bigger, but we may not need them quite as big as what I drew them. So I'm just going to cut out the cardboard in the heart shape, and then we're going to see what we need to do. Because I think before I put the wings on, which I could do two things. I could glue the wings on directly onto her, or I could punch a couple holes and put a wire to attach the wings to it. And we could actually do something really cool. See if the head is staying. That seems to be stuck on there. Let's see if we can pull a layer of the cardboard paper off. Let's see. I'm just gonna wet it a little bit and see if I can pull it off to expose the texture of the cardboard. Hopefully. Well, it's starting to come off. Let's see. Let's see how well it does. Yeah. It may not want to come off. I thought maybe it would be really cool. Oh, here we go. Yeah. It'll pull off, but I think it's going to take a hot minute. Okay. I'd really like that texture if I could. We'll see if it takes us too long, we won't do it. But you can kind of see. Now it wants to peel off in layers. It doesn't necessarily want to come off. I want to give up, but I don't really want to give up. Does that make sense? You have an idea, but you don't want to give up. Yeah, it's just not gonna. All right. So I'll leave this side as the front. And let's see, do I have a better side than another? Not really. So this could potentially, I think that's probably a good size. A good size for wings. Okay. So, question is, I think what I will do is let's go ahead and dress her. So facing me is going to be the back. And I have some really pretty, it's kind of a peachy pink lace. And I have this, which is kind of, it's got some flowers on it. You can kind of see the flowers. So I'm thinking we'll make that her skirt. Let's see, do we? Here, let me put this up and out of the way. So we'll make that a skirt. It's not very long. It would be, if I had taken the time to go in and maybe dig out some fabric or something, I probably could have done that, but it's okay. We can, let's try. Try to make, oh, it's not It's not cut straight, but all right. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to just kind of wrap it around her. And I'm just going to put a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to do it very carefully because, of course, I've been known to burn myself. I'm going to stick it in the hot glue. I'm just going to use the rubber spatula to help hold it into place while the glue dries. And we're just going to kind of work around her, because I think what I'll do is I'll use the pink lace at the top. At least then we'll get her some clothes on. Let's make sure that I'm not seeing any comments. Probably no comments coming in, but that's okay. I just want to make sure I'm not. Sometimes the Mr. Book of Face is playing games. All right. Let's get that glued on so she has some skirts. Has a skirt to kind of cover her lower half. I haven't yet to decide, like, if I want to do arms on her or not. I have just some rusty wire that I'm gonna. Ooh, I just stuck my finger in that hot glue. See? Told you guys. I'm forever burning myself with hot glue. Fortunately for me, it's not enough to actually tear the skin off. Okay. All right, so let me glue the last of her skirt. See if we can't get her some more clothing. Okay, I'm gonna cut off the extra, because we can always use that elsewhere. Now let's bring the last of it around. It's not, it wasn't cut exactly straight, so there's kind of a gap. I guess I could use the other piece to kind of cover that. Yeah, we can do that. Because after I look at it, and then when I cut it, it wasn't cut even and straight. So it kind of looked like her tushy was showing. Not having an angel with some tushy showing. Okay. All right. Okay. So you can kind of see, I guess, worst case scenario, it kind of looks like it's a train because it's a little bit longer over here, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt a thing. All right, so I do have, and I probably will very well do a couple, because it's not a very, it's maybe 2.5, maybe 3 inches if we're lucky. So probably do a couple rounds so that it kind of covers her top. But we'll do one in the middle, and then I'm just kind of guessing at this, folks. So like I said, Michelle with Pretty Pieces by Michelle was kind of the inspiration for this. She had a small spindle that she had made like a small angel out of the spindle, and she had a kit that you could get. And so I saw that, and I, of course, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I collect angels. So I have quite a few on my shelf out in my living room already. And so I'll just, if she turns out good, I'll actually put her out there with the rest of them. Okay. So we'll finish the top, her top, and then we will all right. I know everybody who goes live always asks, but what's everybody having for dinner? I think my husband just came back from the grocery store, and he wants to have smash burgers. So we're gonna have smash burgers for dinner and French fries. So I think that's what we're having. All right, so that's the start. So you can kind of see she's got a little bit of the start of a dress. I'm just kind of waiting for that hot glue to cool down just a little bit. All right, let's see if we do. And so I'm doing everything, I'm starting everything from the back when it comes to the lace, because when I put the angel wings on her, it will cover that up. And then you won't see the ugly. I may have to do, a couple, or do another round, like kind of up around her neck. But I have some other lace that we might be able to use. Oh, this one might be pretty. Okay. So let's do that. Let's go ahead, and because I'm going to have to do probably a second round, but let's see what we have and what it looks like. We'll get her dressed, and then we'll start assembling all the rest of it. I got glue strings crazy going on here. All right. So I don't know. I was thinking, what else could you use for like the head of, because I just happen to have this Christmas ornament, and so I decided to use it, and I didn't paint it. I think it's gonna kind of be cool having it be her head with, and I won't put a face on her. But I was thinking you could get like a large wooden ball, it would have to be a pretty significant, almost like a tennis size ball, to make as a head. Or if like a little rubber ball, like a kid size rubber ball might work. And then if you just painted it, it might be big enough. I just happen to be fortunate that I happen to have this. as I was digging through my stuff. All right. How are we doing on time? Okay. Got about 15 minutes. I don't want to go longer than an hour because I want to make sure I'm respectful of people's time. All right. Here we are. So now you can kind of start to see. You can see your body under it, but I'm thinking it's okay. Even though you can see her body under it. I know the lace is a lot more see-through, if you will. But let's see. I have this. Woo! It's stuck to, and it's a little. It's like silver, and then I don't know if you guys can see it very well or not, but there is a little bit of gold that's kind of running through it, and it's kind of perfect. Yeah. I thought maybe it would be good. All right, so let's see. This is the silver lace kind of around her neck. I'm thinking, hold on a minute. Do I have, I didn't dig out anymore, but I'm thinking I may need to do just another, so you tell me. Okay, so give me, this is what I'm thinking, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so I'm thinking about doing a third row, kind of right around her neck of the pink, and then right after that, coming back with the silver, just to give it kind of a little decorative touch. And if you like that, give me hearts, if you can see that. Okay. If you don't like it and you want just the pink lace, give me thumbs up. And tell me what you, hearts or thumbs up. Hearts for with the silver after I do the pink, or just the pink. And I'm gonna, as you're giving me hearts and thumbs up, then I will, because I'm just gonna go ahead and put the pink on no matter what. I just need to know hearts for the silver or not. Nobody has an opinion? Okay. Then I gotta cover up her neck. Because you don't want to see where she's glued on. Her head is glued on. Do we put the silver on? Yes? No? The silver lace? It's kind of turned up. Let me... I have to pull it back off a little bit because it's... There we go. Kind of creeping up there and not laying flat. Thank you, Tasha. Oops. Okay. Gonna try as I might. Maybe I will give it a little bit of the trim so that it comes around. All right. I'm gonna tack that off. Whoops. Hot glue. Hot glue. Okay. I'm gonna glue this down. All right. Now, it is kind of creeping up, so let me see if I can relieve that just a little bit by cutting the lace just in the centers of that so that maybe it'll come down and lay a little bit flatter. All right. Okay. Nobody has an opinion about the silver? All right. Let's see what it looks like. I'm thinking it looks like a fancy collar on her, so I think I'm going to do it. Okay. I'm going to just stick some glue in here. Kind of looks, I don't know if any of you guys like it's kind of like what reminds me of it was like a christening dress with the fancy the fancy lace on the collars. That's what it kind of reminds me of. Next week, so I don't know, I'll have to decide if I'm going to go live later this week as well. Because a lot of it depends on what craft I can come up with, of course, you know. But I do have, I think I have 1 or 2 events next week. One on Monday for sure. I can't remember if the other one's on Wednesday. I think it's on Wednesday. So Monday is Christmas in July. And I will be live at the same time, 4 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Central, and 6 p.m. Eastern on Monday. And I will be in an event, Craft Events by Julie. And then I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday, is another event, Creative Crafters Assemble. And I think I might be on an hour later, but I'm not entirely sure. I'll post, just watch my website for posts on the times that I'll be here on live. Creative Crafters Assemble. I don't remember if it's I don't remember the theme. I'm trying to rack my brain. I don't remember if it is a beach or tropical. But all right. So this is kind of what. So there she is with the little silver collar. Okay. Now, let's decide. Okay, I think maybe I want to do a little bit of maybe brown. Maybe I'll wax it. Put a little bit of wax on her wings. This is just the whole Best Homes by Kills dark sealing wax. I know it's backwards for you guys, but it's just the dark sealing wax. So I'm just gonna kind of give a little bit of kind of antiquing, if you will, but this gives it a little bit of extra extra. And it kind of starts showing a little bit of that cardboard texture. I'm just doing it around the edges, but how are we doing? Okay, we got... Do we have any prayer requests? Anything out there? We can... we'll close up here in a few minutes in prayer. And I'll post a picture when I get her done. So I'll need to... Okay, so here's her wings. It's kind of gonna be a little bit harder for you guys to see. You can see kind of the antiquing around with the wax. But I'm thinking I might do the whole thing to give her a little bit more color. And you can kind of see some of the texture that I really wanted to show through in the cardboard. Okay. Yeah, it's a little bit better. All right, so I guess what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to hot glue her wings on. Just going to put a bead of glue down the center of the heart. And we're going to kind of stick her wings on. It may take a minute to kind of hold them in place. And let the wings, actually have the glue cool. All right, there we go. So there is the wings. Hopefully they're a little crooked, but oh well. Well, it looks like maybe it's my heart but there we are so far. And then I'll give you kind of an idea if there aren't any. Oh, hi Chris. Aw. I'm sorry that your cat is injured. Doggone. I get it. No worries. I was just working on an angel. and using one of the spindles that I have. And I painted the spindle, glued some lace on to kind of make her a little bit of a dress. And then I used cardboard. You can see I was going to try to expose the ribs, but the cardboard doesn't come off. Yeah, and and I was going to show real quick my thought on yeah, let's see, on a halo, and then so I'm going to pull some of it out here, and let me see if I can kind of wrap it around and make a resemblance of a halo. Now, mind you, this is a little bit thicker gauge wire, so it's a little bit harder to manipulate with your fingers. But, so I was kind of thinking, let me get my clippers here, cut them, cut it here. Okay, so thinking kind of like that for the halo, and I didn't know, I was playing around and was thinking, what about, I have, let's see, I have some dark purple. I don't have the color that matches, but I do have some dark purple, and I'm wondering about on the halo, just going around with a bunch of these little, they're little like silk flowers, but I don't know if I go around it with a bunch of these little purple flowers, if that would look good or not. I don't know. But anyway, so that's kind of where, and all I did, the halo is not glued in yet. It's just kind of stuck down in the back where the cardboard is. You can kind of see, I just shoved it down in there. And then this is just a, like a Christmas bulb for a Christmas tree, and I just cut off the neck of with one of my cutters. So, but anyway, so that's so far my angel. I don't think I'll put a face on her, but well, we'll see. I might give her some wire arms. Maybe I'll give her some wire arms so she can hold a flower. I have some of these big flowers. So, I don't know. We'll see. It's more for another time. But anyway, all right. Well, I thank you guys so much for coming on. If you guys have additional prayers or need prayers, reach out to me and let me know. I'm happy to pray for you. And so if you will, we'll go ahead real quick and just say a blessing prayer over you guys, and then we'll go for the evening. Oh, dear Lord, we thank you. We give you the glory for the opportunity to be able to have some friendship, long distances through Facebook, and being able to have crafting in common, Lord. And we just ask that you bless each and every one who has attended this live this evening. We just ask that you bless them individually as well as their entire household, Lord. We just ask that you lay your hands of healing and grace over each of the families, and we just ask that everyone have a blessed day. We just ask all of this in your glorious name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you guys so much. And thank you, Chris, for coming on. I appreciate you jumping on as well. Thank you, Tasha. I think Christina has left, and I haven't seen Donnell lately, but she might have dropped off as well. But you guys all have a wonderful, blessed evening. God bless.